So I just turned by the Indian Center. I started walking here, and I've walked here in 2017, and the Lord can go to work. It's just that I get attacked. Like the HIV niggas were trying to come out, and it's specific people. Like I can name a nigga, and I'll meet the boy from NCAA, the pretty boy, not the pretty boy, but the handsome light-skinned one. And he was like, I was like, "What's your mama name? What she look like?" And like people were jealous of me, because I was too beyond handsome for a normal community. And you would say, no, but people are not jealous. But I'm telling you, people stalk me. And this is long after 2017. I used to walk here after 2015. I had real life walks. But then I seen the two girls in the car, and I started thinking of the Indian girl, and I said, yeah, she pretty. She definitely pretty, but she not powerful where she could define people and get in people's business. Because that's when I meet Bikini Girl. And then I said, when I was you have to see the angles, it was very bright and it was very light. And people attack me in specific ways. I used to think about getting a house, but when people already got the house, they say, Reese, wow, we feel it, like how to move up, because I've been doing eyes since 2017. So I told Bikini Girl, she said, I can get any boy I want, but she couldn't, because there was a limitation on, her power, because when you have dreams, there's judgment. And she might be the most attractive girl, but even attractive girls have limitations that make them beyond powerful. These girls, they have power. And even Tilo said, oh well, damn, she decent. Even Tilo, but that's how you gotta know. But even Tilo didn't like her, but there's a little thing, there's a young thing that come around that's really nice. But there's a lot of them, unless the girl was very, very special. Unless the girl was very special. And I had to make a video today because, I knew it was going to be a white sun on Lawrence. And Romy went to go get her check by herself. But it was June. And I never go for walks around Ravenswood anymore, because it's the currency exchange. White people, I literally got attacked by Adana and Stinky Anus when I was in the car, and it was very bad. But I'm not just a nigga who meets people. I'm a nigga who makes music. But I'm telling you, it's my real life. It flows through my eyes that already were there, but there's a limitation. Because I've been going in 2017 and 16, 14 for many years with the Social Security office. But people have been attacking me, and there's so many things behind my eyes for the years. But the fact that Dunkin' Donuts, I don't know why Dunkin' Donuts exists. I don't know why it's a white sun. I don't know why it's a white sun. But then Dunkin' Donuts exists with good coffee at the perfect location where it's walking distance. I don't know. I don't know why Stinky Anus gets to attack me. I don't know. And it's not like I'm so beaming handsome, but as a 30-year-old man, I kind of get things, but at the same time I don't. Because, there's a lot of men in the world, and you could be attracted to a guy with a six-pack. And, but some girl, they're real smart, but I'm not trying to be chubby, nigga. I'm trying to be six-pack, nigga. And that's why, when I go for a walk in 2017, you see the videos that I made. You see the life that I have. You see what's in me. But then when you look at my face, it puts a stingy in there. But sometimes my face was like music. And that's why I was so intelligent. But then a lot of Stinky Anus came out in 2017 and said that it was them behind me. And it was a process. But now, just like 2017, people were kind of back to 2015. Now in 2022, but I expected it. But like I was so great that when I see people, I know it's June, but it is a white sun, and people get out of moods because of me. But I'm not trying to meek everybody, I'm trying to make it in a specific way. But like a lot of people used to stare at me when I was young. But like there was a lot of things that God revealed to me over the years. But things changed. And in 2017, I used to walk here, but the thing is that Skokie exists now. But the thing is, that Skokie exists now, and it could relate to a certain connection. I do movies, I do a lot of things, but it's from my real life. But like the thing I tell people is stay in counsel. Because people could teach you a lifetime in one moment, but you could also learn from people, big time. That's why I want to make a film community, but a lot of the emotions, a lot of the structure that I built was by myself in these videos, but they all got deleted. I swear to God. I used to walk to this route, in the beginning of spring. In 2017, making videos, very important, on a checkpoint in what I felt, but it got deleted. That's how you gotta know. I got deleted. And people are very good, and I was very bright. Community, but not Ravenswood community. That's why you could see in the distance there was Kentucky. In Kentucky there was great airplanes and great glory beyond Zion. But then stinky ain't the shit I see. And while I am a man of war, I will fight for people. But at the same time, fight for yourself first, because when you do things on a big scale, things could get out of order. But me and Romy already rode here so many times when we used to ride the Skokie before I stopped going with her for specific reasons. If you watch my videos, there is times, when I have current emotions related to what I'm doing, because I could go for a walk, but the thing is people attack me and I get a stingy. Like I could go for coffee, but I don't want to go for coffee, and neither do I want to go for a run. Neither do I want to go for the YMCA. Sometimes you can have a lot of motivation yourself, but people could try to call you lazy, but it's not true. But sometimes people could really motivate you. When I look right now, I see beyond Ravenswood. I see business, but just not just corporate windows business. I see business from my insides, business from my heart. But so much that business is life itself, not just the economics of money and merchandise. And I want to make movies, but you got to be careful that you make people full power. Sometimes you got to be able to put people on a new stage. That's why I sing to the construction workers sometimes, but morally I keep my my singing and my science to the location where the buildings are, where the houses are. That's where I get my routine at. That's how you gotta know. And in my manhood, when you get into the other places, it's a lot of workers who say we could do that too, or they say we work, why don't you work, and stuff like that. That's how you gotta know. Not a horn apart nigga, but people are real special. But when I'm touched by an angel, the angel comes first in my mind. But like I'm telling you, books are very powerful. Not like when you're like chemistry book, it could teach you things, like it could change your life. But if you have a personality of a construction worker, you know, it could and I used to do chemistry in 2014, long before 2017 when I used to work here. And what type of chemistry? Biological, and a lot of science came from my mind long before stinky anus existed, but they were already attacking me crucially. Governors, Romo saying we see these eyes, you know, for a long time, persecuting me. Since before Romo existed, when I was 8 years old. And that's why, you know, I have to give credit to these houses. I don't know why these peaceful houses exist. I could have now, don't get twisted. If I have a stingy and I'm working construction, I'll probably sing my way up. But for some reason, this place is so beautiful in the winter in June. But like now, the sun is white over here. It's real pretty. The cool breeze. But when I go to the construction worker, unfortunately, they have to have low pay and unrepresented. Like, it's okay if you have construction and you working and you have talent and stars and represented, but these people can got Adana and stinky anus. And you know, sometimes you can meet a man who could really influence your life. And sometimes when they come around, they're rare, but like it's not about, like sometimes people can put new business in you. But like you had to be a certain power to do that. That's why when Bishop Bell, I'm sure Bishop Bell got a secret books. But you know, people can put new business in you. Business is not just smarts and merchandise. Business is an influence of emotion that influences your behavior to just have more insight in you while you're working so that you could be a greater person. This is where I started this video. But I know woman is powerful. I guess, you know, for a real man, they could point out some things in me, you know, but at the same time, I got football talent and I play football. And you know, the tree is tall. It's like when you get taller, the tree, you will always understand the tree. That's how you gotta know. When your wing back's bigger, you will always understand the leaves. But I don't know why this part of the community is so ugly. I walked to Lawrence and C4, never got a resource, never had somebody to come and they'll meet me. I never had somebody to come and they'll meet me. And keep in mind, in the community where the trees are, I'm a black person. And when the construction workers and the police ride into the black community, I'm black. But when it comes to the construction workers on Lawrence, you know, I don't know if they have a house or not. I don't know where they can't go home. At the end of the day, who is their mailman? I don't know. But there's definitely a lot of Daliamas, Indians on Lawrence. And you know, but construction workers, I think they're really doing the right thing. Because when you work for society, society works for you. But I work for the private world. You know, not just technology, but social business. Not just technology, but social engineering. And you can see it's real peaceful around here for some reason. I hear the trees. I don't hear that on Lawrence. And so you gotta find yourself and see where you do. Cause yeah, I could go for a walk and it could be so pretty. I know, but when I get to Lawrence, it's like I have to work. And you know, you gotta work for a living. And you know, it produces different feelings. That's where it could relate to. See, it's a white over here, but I still have a vision of emotion. And like I could sing, I could do a story, and I could go into one of these houses, and like there's so much that I could do. But when I go to Byron's, I notice that it's like the George Bush presidency. I noticed that long before I grew taller, people are attacking me from a different state that they were already attacking with me. Long before I ever used to walk these routes. And 2017, I could walk in Uptown and make a video, but I already did that in the spring of 2015. But the thing is that I already made sound files, KO in the year, but it could relate to, like, you want to have God in you. God could be in human council, like the real Lord. He can have grace, but you know, when Jesus preaches the word, you know, that's another thing. I got attacked by Christ's temple when they preached Jesus, and I had to build my own life. And there's a lot of cars on Lawrence, a lot of CTA, and a lot of common people.